all type of knowledge ultimately means self-knowledge.
The end of the Republic has never looked better.
If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness.
For the international order that we have worked for generations to build.
And I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree.
Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs.
So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States.
That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers.
You've seen what they wanted you to see.
With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around.
What this is about is control of the very elements of life. DNA, yours, mine, everyone's. And why a hoax? Why create hard evidence?
I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square.
And only a directed scientific examination would have proven the fraud.
And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington.
Actually, you see, I mean, it's a combination of both. I mean, here it is the natural instinct, and here is control.
And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting.
If you have one to the extreme, you will be very unscientific.
I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa.
If you have another to the extreme, you become all of a sudden a mechanical man.
I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills.
What am I looking for? Level 4 is a biological quarantine wing. It houses a series of labs and medical facilities, an elaborate system for the storage of vast quantities of DNA. DNA from home.
If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed.
Virtually every American born since 1945, every immigrant, every indigenous person who's ever given blood or tissue to a government doctor.
And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames.
This is what I was telling you, Agent Porter. This is the hoax into which you've been drawn. The roots go back 50 years to the end of World War II.
If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door.
Playing on a virulent national appetite for bogus revelation and a public newly fearful.
Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing.
The bioweapons used in the Gulf War were so ingenious as to be almost undetectable.
You are to combine the two in harmony.
There are truths which can kill a nation, Agent Walter. The military needed something to deflect attention away from its arms strategy. Global domination through the capability of total enemy annihilation.
I'd have judges promoting pornography.
But the generals and politicals knew what they could not win was a public relations war.
Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress.
The business of America isn't business, Agent Walter, it's war.
And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science.
Since Antietam, nothing has driven the economy faster. We needed a reason to keep spending money, and there wasn't a war to justify it. We called it war anyway.
I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money.
The more we denied it, the more people believed it was true.
If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle.
Fed them enough bogus fact, enough fuzzy photos and eyewitness accounts that they believed it too.
If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious.
I can't tell you how fortuitous the timing of it all was.
And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be.
It is a successful combination of both.
And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Paul Harvey. Good day.